certainly this weekend we have our 3-for-1, the kebab, as well as our ceviche. And for the kids, of course. For the
Is
kids.
that good on a hot day, Paul?
Ceviche. It's just sitting outside.
Let me tell you what, you've never had it so good.
Okay, good.
It's never been better.
So a warm...
By the way, are my testicles showing into these shorts?
No.
Stick around, make a sound, there's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, I am all in on Faraday's well-crafted clothes, laid-back vibes, and if you're new to the brand, I don't know if you guys are, but you have to check out their Movement collection. I'm wearing the Movement pants. I wear them almost every day. I've got 3 pair of them. I love them so much. Faraday, let me tell you something. I love the twin brothers, Alex and Mike, who it's a family-built business. Their wives are in it. Their mom is in it. Values-driven brand that crafts clothes that's great for any moment in life. For me, it's wearing it on stage, it's wearing it on vacation, it's playing golf in these clothes, all of it. Surf session, road trip with your family, doesn't matter. So for our listeners of this show, Faraday brand is offering 20% off your first order when you enter the promo code 20DPT at checkout. Go to Faraday, Faherty, brand.com/DPT, FaradayBrand.com/DPT with the code 20DPT at checkout. Check them out. Do you feel good? Okay. Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you. Population Hendrie. Phil Hendrie, legend, and just a man who is, there's a documentary about right now. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you. I've often driven by the city limits here and said, I got to go in.
I got to get to go in.
I need to use the can. This is the place.
And there's mic for you. There's constant cans. There's toilets everywhere in Dumb People Town. People use the streets as toilets in Dumb People Town. But so you have a new documentary.
Everything's a toilet in Dumb People Town.
We'll get into the new documentary. I have to tell our audience how I came to you, and I'm so thankful to my wife's uncle, Rick Schumann. I'm giving him a shout out. So when I started dating my wife, early 2000s, so it was, we were married, freshly married. It was right when you were making your sort of the run of your show where it was really taking off. I guess it was in Ventura. Then.
Well, no, I was in L.A. At the early 2000s. I was at Premier Radio.
Okay.
Doing the show nationally, yeah.
Got it. So it's syndicated then, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes. So that's right. So he got somehow like a best of the bits you were doing and sent it to me. He's like, I know you're a comedian, you're dating my niece. Please, if you like this, then we will be close for the rest of our lives. And I was like, I hate when someone tells me to go listen to comedy that
it's going to be the worst thing ever.
But I'd heard in the ether, I knew about it, and so I started playing this thing as I'm driving along, and I almost got into a car accident. I was laughing so hard I couldn't see. I had to pull off the road. I called Randy up, and I'm like, dude,
you got to hear.
You have to hear this.
Like you have to
hear this right now. So the bit that got us, and I hope you remember this, was the triangulation where
you son of a bitch.
Where do you remember this bit?
Oh,
that you
yeah.
were doing?
Was it in Miami?
I think.
Or I just kept playing this. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
I'm hearing it. There he goes again. He's going again.
So you got a woman to think that was in her house.
In her house, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
You're like, do you have a washing machine? This is gonna sound crazy, man. Do you have a washing machine?
A zip line,
a washing machine, and
a trim line.
A trim line. So there's triangulation. She's like, what does that mean? I'm like, do you have a washing machine?
Son of a bitch.
Do you have a washing machine? Do you have a microwave?
And if it's all going between the three of them. Yeah. You have to find it.
Oh my God. Holy shit. But it kind of is the essence. I'm glad you bring that up because it is the essence of this show, and the way you handled that and all of it, all the bits you've done, is to sort of not be so mean to dumb people, but like to pull them in
be
to
on their side.
Be on their side.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we do on this show.
But
let's
brilliance.
talk about what you're thinking here.
Yeah.
Let's run through the logic.
Yeah, like tell me what's going on.
Well, I mean, the thing to do when you're doing a show like that, where you have an absurd premise.
Yes.
You have to present it in the most realistic way.
That's it.
You have to say, okay, I know that goblins don't fly into the turbines of jets, but what if someone really believed it, but knew it would sound crazy? So you got to say, What you're going to hear right now is crazy, but let me tell you, I've been flying for 40 years, Phil.
Yes.
I've seen this. Okay, go ahead. And so the cat will go, it's like, and then, all right, so now you've established, so the listener is saying, this is a crazy premise, but maybe this guy is
Maybe
crazy.
he's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue with him. And
He knows better than I do.
Exactly,
No,
yeah.
you saying as a meteorologist, this is in the documentary, like you were the meteorologist who's like, we don't know where thunder and lightning really
Yes,
comes from.
that's one that people will go, well, wow, do you mean they really don't? Because when I fly in an airplane, I don't know anything about a pilot. The guy goes, we are pilots, Phil. I've flown for 30 years commercially. We don't yet know what makes the plane go up. Like, you're kidding, right? No, I'm not kidding. Go ahead, ask any pilot. Go ahead, ask any pilot. And the thing about pilots, by the way, that's a subsect of your audience. They are very active, and the minute they hear pilot, they go, get me the phone.
Give me the phone. I got to call him. This guy's
gotta call him.
crazy. This guy's nuts.
It's
And
like
you're
you're-
on the side of the caller also.
Always.
And you're also the crazy person.
You're the
and you're
crazy-
like, hold
you're
on a
always going,
second. That
hey,
doesn't-
wait a minute. What are you saying, man? Because this gentleman is saying he's a pilot. He knows what he's talking about.
We actually don't need we don't need wings. It's just 4 appearances.
Every time I get into the cockpit, I've been flying for you, but every day I'm scared to death. I'm scared to out of my wits. I don't know what's going to. Every pilot? Oh, every pilot. Ask any pilot. You're flying. The guy flying the plane is ready
It's insane. Well, so I want to take all of that and apply it to these stories that have been sent in. Then we'll talk about the documentary. Our good buddy Jordan Brady involved in that. Let's get into a story now. Phil Hendrie is with us. I'm so happy.
Ready for
Let's
this?
do
Sent in by Chicago History Pod at Chicago_POD.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hashtag Dump People Town at Daniel Van Kirk at Sklar Brothers to send in your stories. Love hearing from new people and old friends.
Yes.
Here we are. Headline is this: Man stung in testicles by scorpion while sleeping at Las Vegas Strip Resort, victim says.
I mean,
This is a nightmare.
this is what we all
why you
worry
don't
about.
stay at the Golden Nugget.
I've got a character that does this kind of, I'm just, you will not believe it, but I felt it, and it swollen it up.
Sir?
I reached down, and God almighty, it was larger than it had ever been. It ever been.
That's a great affect.
Sir,
right there.
sir, you shouldn't be reaching down if you feel
You
like
don't need to
staying.
show us that, sir. We're in the lobby of the hotel,
I
sir.
understand, but I was in a state of panic. I apologize
you
very
were.
much. My wife and my wife, who didn't care, she was at the pool.
Can I encourage you to just put that back in your pants and come over to the rental
forgive
department
me.
over here?
Forgive me.
That's
Yeah, go ahead and stuff it
Folks,
back in.
there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
A California man staying at a Las Vegas strip resort over the holiday season said he was considering legal action after he said his testicles were stung by a scorpion while he was asleep.
I mean,
Michael Farchi of Agora.
that's a fake
That's
name.
a great
Michael
that's a Hendrie
Far-
name.
That's a Hendrie name. That's like the guy who's been the manager of the station for so long. I'm going to get Michael Farchi
Michael
on.
Farchi.
Marchie Far.
Yeah.
Of Agora Hills.
He's just a, guys, just,
He's a lifer.
yeah. And so that's what happened. And let me tell you, I'm going to take it out of your ass. I'll take every nickel
All
out
right,
of your ass.
Farchi, just give us a minute.
Yeah.
He's out for blood, this
You are
Farchi.
you are so spot on. Michael Farchi of Agora Hills said he woke up in excruciating pain during his stay at the resort. Quote, I just felt like somebody stabbing me in my private area, said Farchi. It felt like a sharp glass or a knife. Upon investigation, Farchi said he found the source of pain. I went to the restroom and I
You cannot go down to the casino and ask someone to suck the venom out of that. All right?
Well, no, you can.
You can.
You just got to be very
Careful.
specific
Who you
about who you
ask,
ask.
You got to have the scorpion in a cup and say
Sure.
this happened.
No,
Yeah.
but so he had to have found the scorpion, right?
Yes. I went to the restroom and I saw a scorpion hanging on my underwear, Farchi said,
Oh, my
of
God.
the December 26th incident.
Oh,
Afterward,
my God.
the man and his family checked out early. One day later on the 27th,
Couldn't even get a late checkout after that?
Checked out early. Had to get out of there.
the hotel comped his room.
Nice. That's it?
That's
That's
what I
the
was
least
gonna,
they could do, yeah.
It's the least, right?
It's the least they can do.
Breakfast, the buffet.
Yeah.
Farchi and his attorney shared photos of the orange scorpion on his underwear. When asked if he knew how the scorpion got into his hotel room, the California man admitted that he didn't. How would he know?
Admitted
that he did.
Maybe
I'm
he
going to
made
have
up
to
something
admit this.
before that. Yeah.
I do not know how it
I
got in.
lied. I said it. I lied. I said that I thought I knew it, and I invited it in for a cocktail.
Well, if you invite him in, this is on you. It's
like a vampire.
rules.
No,
Vampire rules.
I admit I was lying.
You were
lying?
You
I
admit
you were
But he
now.
still didn't. He's like, but I shouldn't have been bitten. Just because I invite somebody into my room doesn't mean,
I didn't
you know.
say you could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Go prick me in my testis.
So it was hanging from his underwear, though.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
interesting thing.
I didn't even know how. I didn't even ask how it got in the room. Farchi said it was just under my cover. Who would you ask?
Who would you ask? The Scorpion?
Okay, this is what
housekeeping.
This is what it
Guest
looks
services.
like. This is what it looks like in his.
Oh, there it is.
Oh
Yeah.
God! Oh, that is terrifying.
He took a picture of that thing?
Yeah.
That's his Christmas card.
That's his Reebok. That's his Reebok underwear. That is going to make the family New Year's letter.
Yeah.
The question, of course, is did an actual medical person check this out? Was there actually venom in his testicles?
A report filled with
First time he felt anything there in years.
That's right. He
a
blamed
report
his wife.
filed with the Strip property detailed the incident. Do you guys want to guess?
How
just
much?
no. Just anybody want to take a stab on which on the Strip resort this happened to? Golden Nugget was a really fun joke.
That was my
Obviously,
joke.
that's
It's
Fremont-
not on the
that's
Strip.
Fremont Street. Yeah.
It's not on the Strip. So
Anybody want to take a stab?
I mean,
No pun intended.
take a stab.
Flamengo? I don't know.
That's a good guess.
That is a good
The
guess.
MGM?
Okay.
No. What?
Luxor.
The Luxor? That feels
I
like
would say
a
it
little.
was. Was it the
It
Luxor?
was the Venetian.
Wow.
Pretty nice property.
It's a nice property.
Yeah.
What?
Filed a report with the Venetian saying that he had, quote, been bitten by a scorpion on my groin/testicles around 8 a.m. The incident indicated that Farchi told staff he was, quote, in a lot of pain and blamed the Venetian for the incident, adding that the scorpion, quote, was in bed when he was sleeping. I get...
This is just an unfortunate thing. You're like,
That's exactly
let's go
how
straight
I feel,
to
right?
how do we fix this?
This is we've talked about this in other episodes about like we've lost this thing where people go, oh shit, we're sorry about that. You know, let us make it right.
Right.
Like we always go straight to lawsuit.
Right to lawsuit. And this guy sounds like, and I didn't know what to do at the time.
Right.
I was frightened. You
Right.
understand? I had fear.
It was in my bed.
It's in my bed.
I didn't invite it in
didn't-
there. I have no
I
idea.
hold the Venetian responsible for the scorpion to have been in there.
You're not.
You know?
You are so on. Because they say, this is his quote, everybody was in shock. Nobody believed. Even I couldn't believe it. Well, if you can't believe, you saw the damn scorpion.
Yeah, it happened.
It's like they saw the monolith from 2001. This is a-
We're in a desert community.
yeah, an incredible occurrence.
Phil, we were about to get to the part where I was so excited that you would be on the show. Because an incident number from the resort marked the event, Farchi said, adding that he was considering legal action. Enter attorney Brian Virag,
Okay.
who said the scorpion sting has been a source of trauma for his incident. I am going to show you.
Has a scorpion bit you in the balls while standing?
I'm going
You
to.
could be entitled to damages.
Oh, you have no
God
idea.
rest his soul, by the way.
When you picture-
Larry
Larry
H.
Parker.
Parker. Larry
Larry's
H.
gone.
Parker.
Fought for a long time.
Ready to see these two?
Sure,
Yes.
yeah.
This is him and his attorney.
Oh, God!
This is exactly what you would
my
want them
God.
to be.
Who's the attorney?
Gotta be the guy in the hat, right?
The guy in the hat
The
is
lawyer's the guy in the hat?
Gotta
has
be.
to be.
Yeah.
Who
It's
what's-
gotta be Brian Virag.
It's not. It's the other way.
I don't know.
Could be the other guy.
I don't
What's
know.
his voice? Who is that?
They
guy?
look like two brothers.
Oh, my God. The one guy does look like he's had a terrible assault on his
The guy on the right.
Yeah, he's like.
It hurt, I tell you. Right here is this guy.
Yeah, he does look a
doesn't
little-
look like a man anymore. does he?
He used to wear hats. He doesn't wear hats anymore.
Hat
But the
anymore.
lawyer,
Lost
the
his
lawyer with
lust.
the hat feels like one of those rhetorical, like, you think he wanted this?
Yeah.
You think he wanted this to
To be
happen?
embarrassed like this?
Yeah.
Have you have the testicle area?
Do you know how he
assaulted?
feels? Do you know what his life is like? Everything's a question. Like, sir.
You haven't answered one of these questions. You posed 80 questions.
All we ask,
No answers.
all we ask is that we get in bed without a scorpion. And do you think this guy can ask that question?
And you think the Venetian of all places? No.
You don't depose me. I don't depose you. You depose me. And they're
What
like,
does
yeah,
that
that's
mean?
exactly what's
Right.
saying. We are deposing you.
When they took that picture, it looked like somebody said, "Okay, looked like you've had your balls almost
Chopped.
snipped off.
Yeah.
Let's make it
Stung
look
by
like-
a scorpion.
Doesn't it also look like 2/5 of a lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Either that or like, yeah.
But that guy looks thoroughly depressed.
Yes, he does.
I mean-
Guy on the right. Thoroughly
I mean, he's got this new kink in his life, and he doesn't
I think
know
he's
what to do
thinking.
with it.
I don't think this is a good idea, Eddie.
Yeah,
he's
I
out.
got a bad feeling. about it.
He's like, Virag, if they offer the buffet, we're taking it.
Take
Yeah.
the buffet.
Get out.
No,
of
we
here.
can do better. We can do better.
Do better.
Yeah. Leave the buffet. Take the cannoli. While Virag said he is confident that the resort has policies and procedures in place to avoid situations like the one Farchi found himself in, it's another thing. The problem with me is it's wildlife. There's
nothing
yes,
you can
they
do.
should have made the bed, but you never know. The scorpion could have already been on the blanket when they laid it out, and like it came from downstairs. It doesn't. Like I have a friend who lives in Phoenix, and he's like, yeah, just Scorpions are a part of life.
You
That's
gotta
just
shake your shoes out. I've killed
Everything.
2 scorpions in L.A.
If you have-
in my house.
Oh, in L.A., yeah.
With a shoe. One of them was Klaus Meine, the lead singer of the band Scorpions.
Yes.
Why was he in your shoe? I went and saw Scorpions. Thank you, Dan. I went and saw Scorpions at the Staples. It was the Staples Center with Dave Anthony, our buddy Dave Anthony.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the thing, and I'm like, these guys are old, and I want to know if they've learned English better than they used to know it in the 80s. This was his banter in between 2 songs. He just walked up to the microphone and he was like, California! Crowd cheered, and then they played another
That's
song.
it. Yeah, that's it. Right.
He didn't even say L.A. He just named the state we were in. Talking about Eureka?
which is good for 3 or 4 shows if you're going up and down the coast.
I was also at this show.
You remember Millie?
Yeah,
you were at that show?
Millie
Aaron was at the show.
Yeah.
Millie Vanilli was German, but to hear them sing, it was just, baby, don't forget my number. And then they did it. We had Millie Vanilli. Yeah, do you come to America next month? It's going to be
there.
Yeah.
That doesn't add up when you. Yeah, so it was. You were at that show, Aaron. It was great. I as a joke, like just because it was all like heavy metal, like 80s heavy metal. I, to make Dave Anthony feel like uncomfortable, ordered sushi, and I was delicately eating sushi throughout the concert on the floor around other people. Not what you want to hear when they're singing "Rock You Like a Hurricane." Can you?
Don't bump into me.
They wouldn't serve it if they don't want you to.
Yeah, that's right. It's Staples Center.
For their part, officials from the Venetian Resort Las Vegas responded to a newsnow.com request for comment saying the resort has protocols for all incidents, and we confirmed that they were followed in this incident. They say
it's nobody's fault.
That's what they say here. It's
it
a good idea
nobody's
to always
fault.
Inspect a hotel room and its surrounding areas upon checking in.
But there
which
was
is a real thing I do. Like when I first walk into a hotel, I'm like, TV
around.
works, shower turns on, because
No
there's nothing
scorpions
worse
in the beds,
when you're going to be there for like 4 or 5 days and you take everything out and put everything away, which is what they do, and then you realize, like, I mean, I walked into a flood in a hotel room once. After I had like put everything out, I go to the window side, and I guess it had been raining. Complete water, and I was like, I gotta undo all this.
No, I mean, how about in Chicago? So we went to go. Did we tell the story on this podcast?
Yes,
I think we
for
may
sure.
have.
But it's so funny.
The brief story is this: we were in Chicago doing shows, and our friend booked us on the shows and told us the name of the hotel. But I guess, or he didn't tell. He told us one of the hotels he was going to book us at.
Right.
I guess misheard him, and
it was very similar to another named Chicago.
So we went to a different hotel, Phil, and we check in. First of all, the person who's checking us in, it's their last day of work and they're drunk. Yeah, they've got alcohol out in their hands, and there's a party going on. There's naked art around the lobby on the thing, photographs of naked people, and then we're like, okay, just get us to our room. We go up to the room. We're like, this can't be the hotel. It's like weird, like studio apartments, like out of the movie The Apartment. Like there's like a mini fridge, and we're like, what is this place? A landline phone on the wall.
That's weird.
Just
That's
like,
scary.
this is strange.
Yeah.
So then we're like, I guess it's our hotel. Later that night, we're coming back from the show, and a guy sneaks into the hotel. To the hotel with us through security, goes into the elevator with us, and we're like, what is going on? Is he going to kill us? We go up to our floor, we separate, Randy and I are going to our rooms. This guy gets off on the same floor as us. On our way to Randy's room, door opens. Next to Randy's room, and my room's on the left. A fully naked guy walks out into the hallway to greet this guy and bring him in.
Okay.
Love it.
Birthday party.
Yeah, it's happy birthday.
Yeah.
We're like, this is insanity. This is insane. So we call our buddy and we're like, is this the hotel we're supposed to be at? And he's like, what hotel are you at? And we're like,
The Chicago.
He's like, no, you're supposed to be at the Quarters. So, and we're like, why are we here?
We get dropped off.
We got the wrong hotel.
That drunk dude's last day was why he was like, okay, you got a room. Like he didn't care. Like he just gave you a room.
Gave us rooms. He recognized us. It was
like, here you go.
So funny.
Sure, everybody gets a room.
Check your room, everybody. That's story number one.
All right, great. Who's got two?
I didn't say when he came to the door, Klaus.
Next.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Phil Hendrie documentary, how you can support it and watch it and support him. And Daniel, he's got great things coming up. This is Dumb People Town. With the great Phil Hendrie, we'll be right back.
Stick around, make a sound, there's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Phil Hendrie is with us. Before we talk about this incredible documentary about him and just all the great stuff, it'll make you want to just take a deep dive into all of his best bits. Daniel, your special is out or
Rose
about,
Gold.
or it's
yes.
or let's just say
I would say
it's-
go check it out. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to DanielVanKirk.com. It should be right at the top.
Great.
To check out Rose Gold. I shot it at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. I'm very proud of it. I love it. I think you guys will love it too. And if it doesn't cost anything, the only thing I ask is just share it, put it out, tell other people about it.
Leave a comment. That stuff
at
helps
Daniel
the
Van Kirk on
algorithm,
Instagram
too.
and all the other stuff is where you can share it and help spread that word as well. That means the most to me. And then everything else, my dates, Wisconsin, Denver, little secret coming up. My own little festival in Chicago. That link's probably not even available yet, but I'm telling you guys first. Everything's at DanielVanKirk.com.
All right, let's talk about this documentary. Thank you, Daniel. Let's talk about the Phil Hendrie documentary. Jordan Brady involved, who we love so much. God bless him.
Good man, yeah.
It's a really cool documentary, partially because what I watched and I love it. I love the interview with you and sort of the behind the scenes and tracking you. The old footage of you at those radio stations is incredible. Amazing.
KLSX, man, I looked like I was 10.
You looked like a baby.
Yeah.
You had a little mullet. You're smoking in the studio. It's fantastic. Yeah. And I love all that footage and all the people talking about how hard it was for people to understand what you were doing and the complaints that they got. Like, they're like, this is the battle. Do we keep this brilliant show that has an unbelievable audience on and face the barrage of complaints by people who don't get what's going on in the show the next day? Or how do we do it? And it was how you managed to build around that. And then, of course, my other favorite part about this doc is the full bits that they are the bits that they play and animate those bits. They have like an animated thing for the bits.
The stick people bits. Yeah, I love that was good.
It was so good.
Did you feel like it properly captured just your experience in going through it?
In going through my career? Or?
Yeah. Your life. Well, it took
I
an
assume
amazing
you had
trajectory.
that, like, first, like, I can't believe they're letting me do this, like, have this much fun and do my own thing, and then finding what is.
Well, I had to fight my way to it. I mean, I started out in 1973 was the beginning of my career at the age of 20 as a disc jockey, and I worked for 17 years really doing nothing but mediocre disc jockey
Where
stuff.
in the country are you at?
I started in Orlando, Florida. I went to Miami. In those days, all I wanted to do was get to the big city, but I wasn't really. I didn't give full vent to my instincts as a performer because they were too weird. To be perfectly honest with you, I felt
I want the job. I don't want to lose.
But then late 80s,
lose the job, exactly.
But late 80s, Howard Stern and all these other
Howard and Limbaugh's politics aside, Limbaugh did, and people get really pissed with me. They go, "You like Rush Limbaugh? It's not his politics.
Right.
His approach as a broadcaster was extremely unique." He brought comedy and humor into the talk. I thought, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
Because I no longer have to play music, so I have to present.
For sure, in Chicago, our guy was Steve Dahl was our guy in Chicago.
Steve Dahl.
Steve was on the air with Gary.
Gary,
and
but you had
and
to,
the Grease Man was
Grease
also
Man.
very influential.
But you had to do those years of just boring stuff to know every aspect of it, so that you could then make fun of it
you
later.
learned all the structure and all the rules, and then found out what is my way of breaking all of this.
Yeah, and getting really tired of it too, and hating it,
Frustration.
and wanting to get out of the business, and wanting to do
Hating
anything
it and
but.
hating the station manager who comes
was it
in.
like late? When was it
the
that
late
you broke
80s,
into your voice?
I got fired from KLSX. I got fired from KFI doing just a regular talk show, and then it was in the summer of 1990 that I was doing a part-time gig in Redlands at KCAL Radio. That I thought, I'm going to send out an audition tape that just pours it all out, unedited.
Yep.
And I started doing this character. The first character I did on the tape was a character I do is Dr. Jim Sadler, but his name in the tape was Dr. Howard Powell. Hello, this is Dr. Howard Powell. Yes, is your name Powell or Powell? What? So this was the
smallest details.
All this bullshit. I sent this tape out, and I knew I was on the right track when I got a rejection letter from WCAU in Philly. It was a huge station.
Yeah. Sure.
Diane Rem was the PD, a well-known PD, and she said to me, "Phil, it's hysterical. I can't hire you."
Yeah.
I thought, aha, it's something good here.
But you got two pieces of feedback in that feedback, which is one, this is good.
And two.
You knew you were onto something.
You're going to be climbing a mountain here,
Yeah.
So I finally got. So this is what I did. I just said, no edits, Phil. Just go. I knew what the boundaries were, obviously,
of course,
in terms
right.
of. But I just did that, and I got hired up at a little radio station in Ventura, KVEN. Rich Galano was my first PD in talk radio, who said to me, "Just do your show as if you're not going to get one single phone call," which also was very freeing.
Yeah.
I don't have to churn calls. I could just sit here, and for 3 hours, I went in and out of character because that was the instinct I had. You know,
But what was so brilliant is your knowing the buttons to put. Like you learn over time the buttons to push.
Yes.
To evoke the callers, to bring them out of the woodwork.
Forgive my ignorance. What's the time of day are you doing this?
This was
overnight?
my first gig was
10 to 1,
1 to 4 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's drive time
with the freedom to go. Just act like. Just don't even worry about calls.
Exactly, and what came on after me was the syndicated Bruce Williams. Remember Bruce Williams? Bruce Williams. And this guy was what did he do? He did like consumer advice. Yeah. I mean, like a guy would say, "Hi, Bruce, I bought a Chevy, and there was a pound of coke in the trunk. What should I do?" You need a lawyer. Everything was you need a lawyer.
You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer.
You need a lawyer. So I started doing that, riffing on that stuff.
So good.
And I wound up getting fired from that station.
Of course.
But the good news, here's what started to change. I had done an audition at WSB in Atlanta, and they liked it. And I said, it was a weekend show though, and I'm full time in Ventura. I don't know how it is I turned down a major market, but I did. But when I got fired from Ventura, I called Atlanta immediately. I called Jim Ashbury. He said, "Yeah," he hired me immediately.
Great.
And I got to Atlanta. And that's when I started doing full-on interviews with the characters. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was doing 4 hours with the same character. I did that in Atlanta. I did it in Minneapolis. By the time I got to Miami, I realized, let's do a character an hour.
Yes.
And then maybe the final hour, just do yourself doing something else.
Yeah.
But in Atlanta is when we started. And what happened, I got to Atlanta. Do you guys, am I going too far?
This is fascinating to me. We'll get into another story. No. It's incredible.
No, so I got to Atlanta, and the Rodney King incident had happened. There was already rioting in L.A.
Yeah,
and
right.
I land in Atlanta while this stuff was going. So,
oh my God!
What do? I go on the air as a German, which is kind of go. Hello, this is Hans Geib. Welcome to WSB. You know, we do need order. I know I sound like I'm not a Nazi. No, I sound, but there must be order in the streets. So you're looking at people that are going crazy. Now, Atlanta has a number of colleges, African American founded colleges, Morehouse, a bunch of, and man, these kids are checking in with me late at night, going, "Who is this?
Yeah.
You know, what are you talking about? You understand what's going on in this country? No, that you must have order. You must have the police in the streets."
Pushing back.
Oh my God!
What a brilliant and like button pushy, boundary pushy thing.
But you have to remember one thing. Callers are not audience. Callers are improv actors that have been yanked onto the stage, whether they like it or not, and they're going to entertain the audience whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
And the audience out there are the ones that you're doing it for.
That's right. You got to know who you're doing it for.
Where's the documentary available? Where can?
Right now, they sent an email. They said, "Tell everybody it's available on Amazon." And my listeners are going, "It's not on Amazon."
Oh.
So I said, "Well, it should be on Amazon. It's on Apple. We watched it on Sling the other night."
What's the title?
It's called Hendrie.
Hendrie.
The title is Hendrie.
Dude, you are, like I said, you're a legend at the beginning, and you are. Even just hearing you, and it's a study for anyone who like wants to get into character stuff and doing character things. The small variations where you put your characters, and again, you're so good because you had to do it on the radio, is, you know, one character is right here, the other guy goes a little bit back in your throat. It's not so much of a difference in terms of the audience voice. At home is like these are two people
different
talking.
people.
I just amazing how the slight variations and the new. It's just the nuance
and
of
how you
this.
cut yourself off. That was it.
One of the things is ambiance is important.
Yes.
So I can move away from this microphone and sound like a different guy. Say, "Hi, this is Phil Hendrie. How you doing, Bill?" I'm great. And all of a sudden, Bill's not. This is a different guy.
Yes, it's incredible.
So you do the same thing with a phone. You move it back and forth.
Right.
And in terms of people often say, the big thing I always get is, you sound like you're talking over yourself. Well, it's where you take the breath. So if I'm talking, if I want to say, "Hi, how are you?" I'm fine. To make it sound more realistic, you'd say, "Hi," take the breath there. "Hi, how are you?" "I'm fine."
Right.
Yeah. So you notice, boom, you're able to kind of
it's
butt it a little
such
bit
a
higher.
small thing.
It's like crosstalk. It's so great. All the characters great. Watch Hendrie. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch this doc. I love it because I love the guy sitting to my right. Let's do another story, shall we? All right, this one from Matthew Friedman at Not Your Average Matt, AVG Matt. Love this guy. All right, this happened at the end of last September. Oklahoma judge opened fire driver while driving and intentionally crashed his car, police said. This is a judge, Phil.
Judge Dredd.
He's the guy that opened fire?
He opened fired and intentionally crashed his car. Oklahoma City. An Oklahoma judge was arrested in Austin, Texas. That's
Keeping
what he's doing. What he's doing, keeping it weird. Last week, after authorities say he opened fired on parked vehicles while out driving, striking at least one of them and intentionally crashing into a woman's vehicle, telling officers later that she had cut him off.
This man hates these oil cans. He's shooting and hitting inanimate objects.
No, he said she cut him off.
The woman cut him off.
He had nothing he could have done.
No choice but to shoot at her.
Shoot at her and run into her.
Brian Lovell, an associate district judge in Garfield County. He doesn't get to keep being a judge. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
Oh, I think let's talk about this. Now, what do you want to do? I think he should be disbarred. Well, let's talk about this. What the hell's to talk about?
He did it in Texas. He didn't do it in Oklahoma.
It's not like he did it in our state. So he was arrested on September 11th. Never forget what happened on September 11th when he shot those cars up.
On a misdemeanor count of reckless driving. A felony count of engaging in deadly conduct with a firearm was forwarded to a grand jury for consideration. Wow. Again, this is Texas, y'all. Lowell was released.
Consideration.
Yeah, I don't know. Lowell was released on how much bond? This is where being a judge means like, hey,
it's a misdemeanor.
Look, he was released on
$500.
That's exactly what I was.
What do you
say.
think, Daniel?
Oh man, you know what? I think 500 is probably, and he's going to get off anyway, so they got to give a little bit. Like, oh no, we ramped it. I'm going to say a G.
1,000. What do you think, Jay?
$750.
All right, get your answers in, Townies, because he was released on $10,000 bond.
I literally thought you were going to say $10.
He was ordered to undergo mental health evaluation,
Which is 10%, a G.
Right. We have zero comment, said a woman who answered a phone call Friday to a number listed at Lovell's.
That's the journalist going, look, we found a number on a magnet that was on a fridge and we just called it, and that person said, we don't know what you're talking about.
But I mean,
like literally, there's no one.
This is a woman who knows the guy screwed up and was like, we have zero comment.
Yeah.
That is, you say like,
Not
look,
no comment.
No comment. Zero comment is a person who's fed up, right? Yeah. That's a choice to be like, we have zero comment.
They've dealt with this guy before.
That's
But to me, I would love to hear a Phil Hendrie person calling into your show, or you as that person defending this guy,
Defending the judge who shot,
because they should be allowed.
We have someone calling.
I think that in our society, Phil, you have to understand that look at the violence and look at what's happening. This is a man who works in our courts, in our court system, and the woman, you don't know what she did. A lot of them flash.
She could have provoked
him.
Just a flashing could have done
A
this.
lady gave me the single digit.
Yes.
And the first thing I thought of was I wanted to put a bullet right through her head.
You can't, sir.
You can't say that
Ma'am,
on the air.
ma'am,
Why would you say that?
Because we're sick of it, Phil. We're sick of it.
Okay, ma'am.
That's my favorite thing too. That's a great angle. The person who feels like they're a part of some tribe that doesn't exist.
Some larger
We're sick
thing.
of it out
Sick
here.
of the
I also
violence.
love the idea of like everybody's on board with her until she says what she's going to do. So I was driving, and then someone flipped me the bird, and they flipped it to me, and I didn't like it. And I'm just driving. I'm driving with my family and my kids, and I said, that's inappropriate behavior. What has this country come to? So I pulled out my shotgun. Whoa! Hey! Come on.
Right.
Everybody's on board.
And the other thing is, but it's a natural. You have to understand that's a natural instinct to pull a weapon out.
And want to take the guy's hand off with it or something?
I don't know.
He put a well-muscled arm out the car, Phil. The man obviously worked out, and I saw his hand was on the side, and it was well-muscled, so he worked out.
Right.
That's a threat. Right away, that's a threat. You know, he's got
You don't put that arm out the window at me.
Yeah, that's a big gun. So I got the
my
bigger
gun.
Excuse me, I got the bigger gun. Yeah. Jesus.
Lowell
It was a bare arm.
didn't immediately reply to the phone message left for another number listed as his, and he declined to comment to a KFOR TV reporter who went to his home in Waukomis, about 60 miles northwest of Oklahoma City. According to Austin police affidavit, officers were called after what time on September 11th by a witness who reported a man firing approximately how many times while driving down the street. So what time did they,
And how many bullets did he fire?
It feels like daylight to me.
so what do you think?
I'm going to go 3 p.m.
3 p.m.? What do you think, Jay?
7:30 p.m.
Phil, what do you think?
pissed off at the end of the day. I go a little late, like 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay, get your answers in, Townies. This was at 4 p.m. on September.
There you go.
There you go. How many times did
End
he
of a
shoot?
tough day.
Yeah, end of a rough day. You got to end it up.
Rush hour
Phil,
traffic.
you're a guest. How many times do you
did he
think
shoot?
shot? You can go first. You can go last if you want. You can
Well,
go
I
tip.
put myself in a situation. Well, I tell you what, Bobby Dooley's one of our guests.
Yeah, Bobby. I love Bobby
What do you
Dooley.
think?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
I would, something. My father just said, "Go for it." You know?
Okay. So just have
I'd
fun
go
with
ahead.
it.
And you pull on the automatic, Steve.
Yeah,
you
somebody-
Just squeeze the trigger and it goes boom, 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 boom. Like 9 clips, 9 shots.
9 shots. Okay, Bobby. Wow.
I'm gonna go
Nice.
6.
6, Jay. What'd you say?
I like what Bobby said. I'm going to go 14.
Okay.
Wow.
Shot
reload.
firing approximately 5 times. I don't know what kind of a gun you have, Bobby, but I mean.
Semi-automatic.
Oh, okay, guys.
Semi-automatic.
You don't like the fully
Not
automatic.
fully automatic. Okay.
About 90 minutes later, police responded to a call about a crash less than 2 miles from the shooting scene where a woman said a man had deliberately collided into her vehicle twice. So he's driving along, shoots 5 cars.
So it's
Parked
one
cars.
thing to shoot because you can kind of go away.
I mean, what is this guy doing?
If you're going to go into someone else's car, you're damaging your own car.
He's in Texas. What is he on a Rumspringer? This guy's out of control.
He wasn't drunk, was he? Or is he
I don't know. So
speed or
Lowell
something?
and his SUV matched the description of the shooter. He told police he believed the woman cut him off in traffic, and although he acknowledged other vehicles had collided, he did not admit the collisions were intentional. Lowell told police that there were 2 handguns in his vehicle, but he said he did not know why he would have shot his gun and could not recall any part of the shooting incident. So definitely drunk.
Okay.
It's a long
Definitely
time ago. That was
Yeah.
40 minutes ago.
Yeah. You want a
How
guy
am
that-
I supposed to?
We're still bringing that up.
A guy with a gun who blacks out.
That's right. It's good. Great.
Good. Did you drive and you didn't know what you were doing?
I
Yes.
don't know where I am. Sir, are you in Oklahoma right now? I do not know.
Who knows?
Lowell,
Cannot recall.
and it's Lavelle. I said Lowell. Lavelle told police that there were 2 handguns vehicles. They didn't know.
Yeah.
Paul Woodward, the presiding. That feels
Sounds like a
na-
folk singer.
Paul Woodward sounds like he's the guy. He's the head of marketing down at the radio station. Paul Woodward. We're going to bring him in right now. Paul.
He wants to do 2. He's talking about what we're doing this
Paul,
weekend. at
talk
the radio
about what
station.
activities we got down at the waterfront this weekend. Paul Woodward.
Well, we're going to have, certainly this weekend, we have our 3-for-1, the kebab, as well as our ceviche. And for the kids, of course, for the
Is
kids.
that good on a hot day, Paul? Is that-
Ceviche. It's just
let me tell
sitting
you-
outside.
Let me tell you what, you've never had it so good.
Okay, good.
It's never
So-
been better.
so
As I
a
said,
warm
By the way,
s-
are my testicles showing into these shorts?
No, they're not. They're
Oh,
not.
you're
Not
fine.
Not enough.
Paul's already dressed for the weekend, guys.
Yeah.
He came
Right.
in here,
Yeah.
beach ball
My
under the arm,
slip-ons, my striped shorts.
flip flops in. It's not the way we dress normally at the radio station. He's head of the marketing.
He's
I guess
calling it
gotta-
casual Thursday.
He's got to get out in front of it.
Well,
Thanks,
it's K55's anniversary. K55. Where are you on the frequency there? Oh, you're right. This is FM. I don't know what that is. But anyway, K55. It's our annual. Kablam.
Kablam.
And,
Which kebabs,
everything.
and fireworks.
Take the kids and throw them in the
warm
lake and
ceviche.
walk away. And,
So it's like a good time.
it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun.
Paul Woodward, the presiding administrative judge for the Garfield County
And
District.
by the way, I do apologize for shooting that woman. coming into the
Hey,
restaurant.
look,
That was Lavelle.
you blacked out. You don't even remember
You
it.
don't even remember.
I did.
Were you even in Texas?
I don't even remember these shorts, but as long as I'm wearing them, yeah,
You must have put them on at some point. That's what I'm
Agreed
saying.
to not.
Everything for K55, even when I black out.
I'll black out for you any day, K55. Not to preside over any cases until this case is resolved. I'm glad they're like, he doesn't get to preside over any cases until this is resolved. What about if it's resolved and he's guilty?
Yeah.
He should not be able to preside over anything after
cases.
this. He's been a good friend and a colleague for years. It's hard for me to believe any of this, Woodward said. He did it.
Every
I have a hard time
Woodward's
believing
already.
that. I've been shooting with his wife and kids. We
We
got
shoot every Easter.
Yeah, we have a range out here. And for you to, what did he do? Well, he did. Yeah, that sounds in character for him sometimes.
Sometimes, but I
I'll tell you this much, okay? I shot him once. I don't know about him shooting anybody. He came in the house looking the way he did. I shot him.
I shot him once.
And the only time I shot him, but
Yeah. I hit him.
This
I
is
hit
what
him.
we do. We're friends. You don't understand Oklahoma.
you don't understand Oklahoma. We shoot each other around. It's a lot of fun.
It's
That's
like saying
an
hello.
act of love.
It's
That's
an
an
act of love.
active.
Are you, Bob? You're going through my garbage cans again, aren't you? Yep. Bam.
You're done. All right, there you go. Story number 2 down in the books. Jay, give us a little tease, a little taste.
Did we do this one, Dan?
Oh, we must have. Yeah.
We might have. So are we doing this again in like an exciting...
I hope not. I bet we pull another one.
We'll pull
All right,
another
so we're
story.
gonna-
All right, so we got another story. Phil Hendrie is with us. Again, the documentary is called Hendrie. We believe it's on Amazon. Just check it out on Amazon.
It is on Apple TV.
It is on
Sling. We know
Okay,
that.
Apple Sling, watch it. It's
If you want to just see one of the great minds in all the creation of everything we do, much of what he did, it was like the precursor to podcasting, and podcasting in general was the idea of like characters and character stuff. We've certainly drawn from it. He's been a huge influence of ours. I love that Phil Hendrie is here. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back.
We'll tell you what, we're going on. What's going on?
All
in our-
that. It's Dumb People Town. We'll be right back.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
So, guys, I just put in an order yesterday at Faraday for their new Coastline Chino. It looks so good. It's stretchy. It's different from the Movement Chino. I have almost everything from the Movement collection. I got 3 pairs of the Movement Chinos. They are the pants that I wear all the time. They are so comfortable. They stretch a little bit. They look really nice. I've worn them on stage. I've worn them on TV. They're just, the clothes that these guys make are just, it's perfect in terms of, you know, high quality, looks really great, moves really well, fits really well, comfortable, and everyone always comes up to me and says, "Hey, I love this." You know, we have a friend from back home in St. Louis, Scott Beesman, who listens to this podcast and said, they just opened a Faraday store in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm going to check it out. And he got his first couple pieces there. And then he just keeps texting me. He's like, I got this blazer. I got the Movement blazer. I got this. I got that. And he looks so great in the stuff. They're just incredible. This season, they're reintroducing the Movement sweaters, which I cannot wait to get into those, which are ultimate layering sweaters, versatile, lightweight. They have Cool Max tech to keep you cool and comfortable all day. Plus, they've got new colors, and their best-selling Movement 5-pocket pants are incredible. Again, they figured out a way to make really cool clothes look good and feel as comfortable as possible. I wear a piece of Faraday every single day, and it makes me so happy, and I always get compliments on it. For our listeners and listeners of this show, Faraday brand is offering 20% off of your first order when you enter the promo code 20DPT at checkout. Go to FaradayBrand.com/DPT. That's FAHERTY brand.com/DPT. At 20DPT at checkout is the code. Check them out. They're the best clothes ever.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh my
So
God.
sure I had the character right. Yeah.
Oh, no,
100%.
yeah, it's so great.
100%.
You know how
Paul
this goes.
Woodward. Yeah.
Paul Woodward. Didn't that sound like a radio
my
guy
God.
at the market? Paul's coming down here. He wants to talk.
I worked for so many GMs with the name Paul. It started with Paul. Paul Goodman, Paul Withers, Paul Waddington, Paul
So
Woodward.
just read this one of Randy's.
Okay. I'll do
This is an editorial opinion with Paul Wad,
Paul Watt. Okay.
General Manager.
Paul Watt. All right, you ready? Aaron, are we good?
I don't know if this has a headline. Oh, here it is. Okay, ready. All right, go.
Hey, Townies, welcome back to the show. The great Phil Hendrie is with us. Before we get to this final story, we should let people know supersklars.com is our site that you can see us live. We're doing Tag It's almost every month, which is our show. If you haven't seen it in Los Angeles, our friends, our comedians do, you will love this, Phil. Our comedian friends do their set of comedy. We're sitting off on the side of the stage, feverishly writing pitches, tags. Those are jokes that we pitch. Then after their set, we come on stage and say, hey, I love this bit. How about this joke? And we just pitch our tags out. It's like collaborative and fun. It's everything that we're doing right here. Happens in green rooms everywhere. So we'll do another one in Largo. There's one in April 17th at the Comedy Store. Again, Moon Tower at the end there. At the end of April, we'll be in Salt Lake City at Jordan Landing with our buddy Hunter Hill in the middle of May. Then at Wise Guys, and then Houston, the Secret Group at the end of June. Supersklars.com for all that stuff. And then good stuff coming up that we can let you guys know about as it comes into focus. Jay, you got to start.
All right, here we go. Sent in by Temujin and Juice at Veteran Still. This must be a
Brand new person.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's a headline on this one, but I'm going with this. A wife has been sentenced after pulling down her husband's shorts at a town square in the Villages.
Okay.
You know the Villages down in
Florida.
Yeah, that's Orlando.
Yeah.
Villages is like
very
sex
significant
explosion.
place, man.
Yeah,
It's like demographically explosive in terms of
I
politics.
know.
She's charged with pulling down her husband's pants.
Yeah, at a town
By him, do you
square.
think, or onlookers?
At a town square in the Villages.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the Villages.
She pulled the pants down. Yeah, see, look at them. They see they're all laughing. See, this is what you did. You did this, Sklar brothers. This
Also, by the way, pulling the pants down on something to me feels like exposing like injustices. Like we need to start using that as a term. We need to pull the pants down on this whole operation.
Sure.
We need to do it now.
I totally agree with that.
And
man.
get better at what we are. All right, Carrie Ann. This is her name, Carrie Ann Graber. Well, I want to call her Grabber.
Grabber.
Yeah. Carrie Ann Grabber. We'll get into how old she is later. Of Bellevue, was arrested.
Bellevue.
Yeah, she's already at Bellevue. 23 arrests on charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Of course. So like it's bad enough that she does the thing, then the cops come and she's like, no.
So like pantsing is such.
It sounds like they were. It
high.
sounds like a husband and wife. They were drunk.
Right.
And
she
they had an
pantsed
argument.
him.
She pantsed him, and he's pissed. And now she's resisting arrest. The whole marriage is
so
going
you
to
know
hell.
he's not wearing a belt. He's wearing
Right,
definitely
just running around
some
with
sort
cargo
of,
shorts
that's
around
right,
his
that's
dude
right.
shoes.
Right.
Spanish Springs Town Square. She was found passed out.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Found passed out.
Sure.
Where is she? Where's Grabber?
She's
over
laying in
the
those
bush.
hedges.
That's right.
At what time? Approximately. They say about, but it's a square number. So
Well, again, this has to be some kind of a barbecue that they were at. I think probably about by 5 she couldn't hold her drink anymore.
I'm gonna go earlier. I'm gonna go 1 p.m.
Yeah,
she's all the way in their fridge yelling back, "You're out of boxed wine." We are? I bought 5. She
Who
drank
drank them all? I'd say 3. I'll split the diff.
5? What'd you say?
5, 1, and 3.
Yeah.
1 p.m. or
1
a.m.?
p.m.
11 p.m. So that's
Oh,
at least
wow.
that's appropriate.
Good for her.
She's had it.
That night on the sidewalk at the
God.
square. This is a laid out woman on the sidewalk.
At the Villages.
Yeah.
According to an arrest report from the Lady Lake Police Department.
It's a weird place, man.
It
It's
is a weird place, right?
They got people running around there like, white power, yeah.
And you're like,
Jesus, what is wrong with you?
We're just trying to play backgammon over here.
Exactly, but pickleball.
Pickleball.
You know.
Yeah.
Amen. When officers arrived on the scene, Grabber had pulled herself up onto a bench. Like, I bet she's like, my legs don't work. And she had to like army
Yeah, that
crawl
probably took 20 minutes.
up onto a bench.
She had to Lieutenant Dan herself up onto that bench.
A puddle was running from the bench onto the sidewalk, and Graber's jeans were saturated.
Okay.
So she
And
just peed on
yeah,
herself.
She's
Yeah.
like,
Shh, everybody. This is someone's grandmother.
This is when.
This is an adult.
Right. This is someone's Nana.
Who poured the drink on me?
No,
They
ma'am.
poured
No,
that drink,
ma'am.
Right?
It's coming out of you.
It's coming from inside the house.
The call is coming
my
from
ass.
inside the.
Well, it's not
You
coming
know,
from her ass.
and all I did is I pull his pants down, and you're telling me I did what?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
licked yourself.
Oh bullshit!
You're
You're
telling me I did what?
She doesn't know the cop. I never liked you. He's like, man, we don't know each
Ma'am,
other.
this is the first time I've seen you.
No, I know you. Yeah,
you
you
don't.
run around here, you beat up people. You're Rodney King, Bill Fleming.
you're
come on.
not doing any of that.
No need for that.
Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was that short one over there sitting in the car.
No,
Come on.
That's not even a
him
cop.
either.
That's a kid.
You're right. Yep, you got me again. Thanks.
That's a statue.
Take me
ma'am.
away.
That is a statue. That's not a. All right.
You're right. You got
the
me.
the native New Yorker became belligerent,
Of course.
and began using foul language towards the police.
Of course.
She was also pointing her finger at them. She staggered and struggled to walk. Graber's husband arrived on the scene and attempted to take her home. However, she screamed obscenities and jumped in and out of the vehicle. When officers attempted to take her into custody, she struggled with them and then reached over and pulled down her husband's shorts. So the husband's shorts thing comes at the end.
It's the end of a long.
The statement. Yeah,
That's it.
The ultimate statement. Yeah.
That's if you think of like a tableau that represents your entire life. Sure.
Pass out on the sidewalk.
Urinate on yourself.
yeah.
Pull down this
Finger
man.
in the face of cops, and you pull down the pants. That's the end
Like
of a
she's
run.
begging for death.
She is
almost,
begging
you know?
for death. She's
Shoot
like,
me.
"Take-
Just shoot me with
Somebody.
Watch this.
I can't live in the villages anymore. All right. She ended up serving how many days in jail before her husband bailed her
It's
out?
like drunk and disorderly, isn't it?
Totally.
Sure.
It was like-
So wait, you're saying
But the
before-
husband's the guy that's got to pull her out.
and he waits
And
a
he-
few days.
I'm sure he took the limit. He's like, how long can we do this?
I'm going to go 3 days.
3 days in jail. Phil?
Oh wow, man! I don't know. First offense. I don't know. Maybe yeah. I'll go with 3.
3 also.
I'll say 7 days.
7.
Wow. He just wanted a week to himself.
He's like, I gotta get some stuff in order.
Get your answers in, townies.
I gotta buy some pants with a belt here.
She ended up serving 12 days in jail.
Oh, probably
Before her husband. What wife? Who?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. There's no Dave here. That's right. This past week, here we go. This past week, she appeared in Lake County Court and pleaded no contest to the case. She was sentenced to time already served in order to pay how much money for each day of incarceration?
Oh, so she had to pay for the incarceration. This is where they're like, look,
How much per day? 12 days.
$100.
$100 per day?
Yeah.
$82.
82 per day?
$250 per day.
Get your answers in. $50 per day.
That's it?
$600. And she was also ordered to pay.
Not a bad little vacation.
How much in court costs? How much in court costs?
$1,100 in court costs.
$2,300.
$1,000.
$1,000?
Yeah.
$238.
That's not bad.
Oh man,
So $838.
It's pretty cheap to commit crime in the villages.
Let's-
Like,
Villages,
3
yeah.
hots and a cop for $50 a day.
Yeah.
Let's get into how old she is before we get out of here. And I love it. How old is this lady? Pull down her, peeing on herself, pass out on the sidewalk.
71.
Yeah,
71.
That place in life where you don't give a shit. Anymore,
Don't care
you know?
anymore.
You just reached the end.
Yeah, you just
16.
say.
I would say, I'd say she was 75.
75?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 69 years old.
Hey, 69. All right. Before we get the answer, watch Hendrie.
Hell
We
yeah,
know
you
it's on Apple. We know it's on Sling. It's probably coming up
Probably on Amazon by now.
And it'll be on Amazon at this point.
Shouting at
Just
Amazon.
Watch it and just please acquaint yourself with this man's work
Thank
if you
you.
don't already know. If you do, Bill Hader, by the way, is amazing in the doc.
He's a great guy.
It's so cool how much he loves and knows all the characters. I thank my uncle, my wife's uncle, Rick Schumann, for introducing me to
And you for introducing me to him. And
I drove off a goddamn road. That's serious.
after shooting 5 cars.
I shot 5 cars and I
Drove off a
drove
road.
off a road because I was laughing so hard at Phil Hendrie. Watch Hendrie. Watch Dan's Rose Gold special. Support him. Come out and see us. This woman pulled down her husband's pants.
After that was the end of the.
That was the end of
the
the
antics.
Yeah.
After
That was her
peeing on
grand
herself,
finale.
passing out, fighting with cops, waving a finger in their faces. She was 53 years old.
Wow. That's party time.
That is
That's
one
a year older than us.
She's visiting her mom.
She's visiting. I don't know. Her husband's there too.
Yeah.
This is a
Wow.
madhouse. Damn it!
There you go. Life at the villages.
That is kind of a crisis point in life too, in the 50s, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
we're in that
wait a
moment.
minute.
You're like, who am I? Am I a young person or
Am
do I
I
want
getting older? I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's
let's
time
do
now
something
to pull
fun.
someone's pants down.
That's right. I still do that. I still got one of those left in me, is what she said. All right, guys, that is the show. Thank you, Phil Hendrie.
Thank
and
you.
oh shit, we got to get back to work, y'all.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.